Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 757. We're at episode number 1555 right now, and I've got a few top takeaways from the extended peak of Star Wars Resistance, and this is still continuing Resistance Week. Star Wars Resistance debuts on Sunday the 7th at 10 p.m. You know, if this is a show that's designed for younger kids, why are they putting it on at 10 p.m.? I mean, these kids they gotta go to bed. So I don't know what that's about. But, this is, of course, the age of DVRs, and I'm sure that it's not the only time it's going to play on Disney XD or Disney Channel or whatever it's playing on. It's not going to be the only time this week that it plays. So, just really 10 p.m. kids show? Anyway. I don't know, maybe I'm just old-fashioned putting my kids to bed sooner than that. But anyway, let's talk about the extended sneak peek. So one of the things that we find out from the extended sneak peek is that Kaz Xiono, our hero for the story, and this mysterious red pilot, the TIE fighter, all right, let me try this again. The First Order TIE fighter pilot who's wearing the red TIE fighter pilot uniform. They have a history of sorts. It seems that there's been some situation where in a dogfight they went head to head, and it looks like Kaz got the better of this character. So, whether, Kaz knows, oh, this is the guy that I shot down, or whether this guy knows, hey, this is the one who was shooting at me and shot me good. Well, we don't know that just yet. But we do know that this person has a specialized TIE fighter. It's not like your normal TIE fighter for the First Order. It's not a Special Forces TIE fighter. It's certainly not a TIE silencer either. It is sort of like the TIE interceptors in a way, and the TIE Advanced X1 that was Vader's ship, but it almost has a little bit more of a rounded kind of profile to it, which is almost more like the Sith Infiltrator kind of situation. So it'll be interesting to learn more about that TIE fighter. We also learn that some of the dangers that are being faced by the Colossus and why they need these ace pilots include giant crazy sea serpents, but also pirates and marauders who are probably trying to steal all the fuel that's being mined on this, actually mined. Is it really being mined? I haven't seen anything anything about it being mined, just that it's a refueling platform. But, you might consider the possibility that some mining operation is happening here potentially because, are people just shipping the fuel to this platform? I guess that's possible as well. So that would also be a target for pirates and marauders and whatnot. But probably our most dun takeaway for this particular extended sneak peek is a conversation that Jarek Yeager has with the captain of the platform, presumably the captain of the platform, and this captain is saying that the pirates have changed their tactics, that they are better equipped, and he doesn't know what is going on or why this is happening. So we talked yesterday about the fact that the First Order, having been party to the Galactic Concordance in a way, is not supposed to be militarizing by any stretch of the imagination, and the terms of the Concordance mean that there aren't supposed to be any open combat situations between the Resistance and the First Order either. Obviously we're going to be flaunting that, and we already see in this extended sneak peek that we're flaunting that too. But the idea of the pirates and marauders being better equipped and having different tactics, well, that certainly suggests that the First Order might have a hand in this, and that they're employing pirates and marauders to attack this refueling station for the First Order's own nefarious benefits. And this extended sneak peek is also the first time that we get to see General Leia Organa in the series, and Poe is talking to her about the fact that the First Order is definitely building weapons, and we get a look as proof at Starkiller Base. It actually makes an appearance here, along with a few Star Destroyers that are hanging out in orbit around it. And yeah, it's kind of weird to see Starkiller Base and to think there are all sorts of people running around on Starkiller Base, not knowing that 6 months later the whole planet is going to go kablooey. But be that as it may, that's what's going on there. And I think it's all the more reason why it just seems like it makes sense that in future seasons, or even, maybe even in a second half of the first season, that they get away from Starkiller Base and they move into a Last Jedi and post-Last Jedi time period. And as far as First Order militarization, we also get a look at Kylo Ren's command shuttle, and it's followed out of hyperspace by 4 TIE fighters, including this red TIE fighter. So apparently this is a person of major import if he's traveling along with Kylo Ren. We also get to see something that looks like a kind of base or space station in a green nebula gas-like area. And X-Wings and TIE fighters from the First Order are scrapping it up, laser firing everything, and it looks like the First Order actually manages to destroy this facility earlier on in the sneak peek, and later on in the sneak peek you actually see some of the dogfights happening around this thing. So, that, like I said, it seems like they're going to start breaking the laws, but it's one of those situations where I guess the Resistance can probably get away with blowing stuff up like that, because if the First Order were to complain about it, then it would be like, well, you weren't supposed to be building that in the first place, so now you're in even bigger trouble. So I think the Resistance might be able to get away with a few things that the First Order is not going to be able to get away with, at least in the early going of this series. And speaking of the First Order, we also get someone brand new in the First Order. So we know there's Phasma kicking around with her silver armor. We know there was a Captain Cardinal kicking around in red Stormtrooper armor. Well, now we've got a gold armored Stormtrooper as well. So, my goodness, they're going to go through the whole color spectrum by the time this whole thing is over. So now we have a third one, and they haven't revealed anything about it just yet, at least as far as the regular Star Wars Resistance channels goes, but it turns out that at New York Comic Con, they revealed more about this character, as well as our red jumpsuited TIE fighter pilot as well. And that's what we're going to cover on tomorrow's episode. So right now, we've covered everything that's in that extended sneak peek that is really worthy of your attention, even if you are not planning on watching the series. And so we're going to be done here for the day. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, then by all means, please do subscribe to the podcast so you can have it delivered to you without you having to even think about it. And if you're enjoying what you're hearing and you're not yet supporting me on Patreon, then I hope you'll consider it. That's patreon.com/SW7x7. For now, though, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
This podcast is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2018 Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.